Even in our own lives, we have to check the market, check yourself. What is working? How are people doing things? How can I work in my own life and eventually also my children and people around me, so that I make sure that we are keeping up with the times? Because we need to keep up with the times. Learn as much technology as you can, however, wherever you can learn it. Because these things of social media, YouTube, TikTok, we really need to rethink our lives. The thing of just thinking you're just going to study a course and settle into a job somewhere, I don't think that thing is going to work in the near future. You need to be competent, you need to know what you're doing. Find something, whether it's content creation, whatever it is, find something and see how you can leverage technology to boost this ability of yours. Take you to the next level yourself. As the apps update, the phones are updating, everything is moving, and we need to keep up, because otherwise we will be left behind. When we are making a living, you can see the Podcast and Chill Network in South Africa that is employed now. I don't know, they have a number of podcasts under them, number of people that are just there employed by this entity, which is YouTube based. You have the Mr. Beast, them, I think the most successful YouTuber. You have Speed, you have the likes of Penwell, the Black Pen, also from SA. You have all these things that are popping up, but people don't run to ride these waves. They are still, even in our own lives, we have to check the market, check yourself. What is working? How are people doing things? How can I work in my own life and eventually also my children and people around me, so that I make sure that we are keeping up with the times? Because we need to keep up with the times. These things are very serious. You learning something and not learning it could be the reason you might end up being retrenched. Because companies want to make the maximum profits at the minimum, at the lowest cost possible, right? So if they can cut you, they will. And you need to adopt. I mean, there's a class of people that I think have done quite well for themselves. They are phasing out of the system. They are entering retirement or about to, which is fine for them. They have survived. They've had their time. But especially for people, you are in university right now, you're about to graduate, you have a few just entered. Learn as much technology as you can, however, wherever you can learn it. Because these things of social media, YouTube, TikTok, what, I mean, we can even see like there are a lot of people who you think shouldn't be on these platforms, but they are billionaires, right? They have TikTok accounts, but you are going to remain in your corner somewhere. I don't. Hey guys, because there are some people who are making a living out of making videos like this, whether on YouTube, what, all these things. We've heard the government is saying they're pushing for, I don't know if it has been approved yet, of like, so that we can also like get paid directly like from YouTube and all these platforms here in Namibia. So guys, we need to keep up with the times, because I've noticed like a lot of institutions have a lot more and more blended courses. Like I think the course I'm doing is blended. It's like business and information systems blended. You have some other courses, I think like information science, which has sort of combined together some aspects of records and archive management, and I think things that have to do like, I think those librarian courses, they've blended them into this information science course. So there's a lot of blending of courses happening, and also this certification economy, where you have to keep your certifications up. At least at the end of every year, you add something to your arsenal of skills. because these things, our environment requires that we keep evolving and keeping, because it's changing at a very, very, very fast pace. It's no longer a time where you wait for something to happen, maybe every 5 years something comes. Here, almost every week there's a new technology that's popping out, and these AI things are taking up a lot, and I experiment a lot with this, just pushing ChatGPT and all these free things that are around to their limitation. Whether it's when I'm writing my book, whether I'm making my videos, whether I'm making my what, I'm there trying to do, what can this thing do? What are its limitations? How far can it go? What is I'm trying, because on a personal level, I think, and this is just, by the way, the free version. And it's even one thing I was telling a friend, I said, by the time I have a steady income and I have enough money, I'm going to have that monthly subscription of this ChatGPT, because the thing has been very useful. I have drafted quotations for clients for this thing. I have done too many things to even recall with these tools. Work sometimes that is supposed to take you half a day can take an hour with these tools. So it essentially, because it has no agency on its own, it can't do anything by itself. It really needs you and the working brain, right? Knowing exactly what you want to do and do. So we really need to rethink our lives. The thing of just thinking you're just going to study a course and settle into a job somewhere, I don't think that thing is going to work in the near future. You need to be competent. You need to know what you're doing. Find something, whether it's content creation, whatever it is, find something and see how you can leverage technology to boost this ability of yours, take you to the next level. Because these tools are there for us. In our own personal lives, this thing can be so much useful. Don't have to look up, if you are a cook, you check up how can I maybe improve this thing, this dish, how, and you experiment. This thing can just spew out recipes. You are a designer, you are what? I don't know if there is any field that some of these technologies are not useful, but we need to pay attention and we need to keep up. Otherwise, we'll be left behind, because our environment, and I say it's like artificial selection. The environment is moving, and when it moves, corporations move with it. Everything else is moving. That thing of just knowing things only in your field. I've seen people like that. When a person is a nurse, all they know is nursing. They don't know anything else about anything. Politics, nothing. In the long run, that thing is not gonna fly. You have to be at least acquainted. You have to keep updating yourself. As the apps update, the phones are updating. Everything is moving, and we need to keep up, because otherwise we will be left behind. When you are left behind, you are left out of the money economy, and we all need to make a living. So it's important that we take these things very seriously. With our children, we have these conversations. If you see your children are doodling around with these social media platforms trying to create content, see how you can help them, because there are people who are making a living. You can see the Podcast and Chill Network in South Africa that is employed now. I don't know. They have a number of podcasts under them. Number of people that are just there employed by this entity, which is YouTube based. You have the Mr. Beast, I think the most successful YouTuber. You have Speed. You have, I think, the likes of Penwell, the Black Pen, also from SA. You have all these things that are popping up, but people don't run to ride these waves. They are still, and this is where the world is going. We cannot stop this innovation. We cannot stop these things from happening. Having classes online, having all these things in the near future, I don't know if we will ever really need to be attending classes physically. Some of these things are going to phase out. And the way that AI is in its infancy, and you can see how it has affected how things are done. So you can imagine what's going to happen in the next 5 years. The changes are more likely to be very dramatic, very quick, and so you need to keep up. We need to rethink how we learn. We need to rethink how we approach our money making, because value is shifting. Remember that you are only as good as the value you provide. You are paid for the value you bring to whatever institution that you work for. So value is shifting. What people find valuable is shifting. There were people who used to, calligraphers or whatever they call those, where they used to write. With the printing press, they were put out of jobs. People who used to work in factories assembling and sewing clothes and doing things. With the bringing on of mechanization of all these things with the robots and things, automation, jobs out. Thing is, here now, we are in that shift. Things are happening. So, you cannot just have a job. If you have a job that is, a programmable job, if I can say, which involves A, B, C, D. Do A, do C, do D, C. You can see even in a lot of our, in a lot of our banks, we deposit outside. No more tellers. Very few if you are to get help inside. A lot of places, sometimes you just put your key card, what. Eventually, no more security guards. So, we need to continue a continual improvement, because for certain people, maybe it's beyond them, but for younger people, we need to shift our mindset, because things are changing, things are shifting very quickly now. So we also need to shift with the times.